Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Chelsea. I'm an academic advisor in the College of Business, and I just want to welcome you to our virtual breakout session for business majors at Explore FAU Day. Thank you all so much for spending your Saturday morning with us. And this is a little bit about what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking to you about academic advising and how you can be admitted to a business major. And I'll also go over a few highlights of the 9 different majors that we offer in business. Then we'll have one of our faculty share his perspective about how he works with students at FAU. We have one of our career advisors who will talk to you about how her team helps you prepare to launch your career after you graduate. And also about internships you can do while you're a student here. We have one of our high achieving students with us who can talk to you about her personal FAU experience. And then we'll be taking your questions at the end of the presentation. You can also feel free to use the group chat. Send us your questions as you think of them in the chat. And if the question pertains to something we're talking about on screen, we'll definitely go ahead and answer that during the presentation. If not, we may hit you back with your answer within the chat or towards the end. So to introduce the team that we have presenting today, again, my name is Chelsea Rodriguez. I'm an academic advisor. We also have Dr. Jonathan Sweet. He'll wave to you from his camera. He's a program director for our Information Technology and Operations Management Department and is also an instructor in the College of Business. We have Jody K. Reese, who is our internship and career advisor. And we have Fernanda Andrade, who is one of our College of Business students and accounting scholars. So thank you so much to both all of our visitors and to my colleagues for joining me this morning. So one of the things we want to make sure that you all know is that we have a team of people that are here to support you when you become a student at FAU. It's really important that you take advantage of our services because that's what we're here for. We'll help you stay on track and take the classes that you need, and we'll help you get ready to launch your career after you graduate, because obtaining the job of your dreams is really going to be that combination between your academic and your extracurricular achievements and the experiences that you've gained both inside and outside the classroom. Now, in order to be admitted to a business major, there are some requirements. So when you first apply to FAU, you will be considered a pre-business student, and then you'll select the major that you intend to declare once you've completed your pre-business requirements. So these requirements that you see on the screen, this is not something that you're necessarily completing before you come to FAU as a freshman. These are classes that you'll do during your freshman and your sophomore year. And if you're coming to us as a transfer student, then we definitely hope that you complete these classes before you come to FAU. But if you're missing some of them, you can still complete them once you get here. So these are classes in English, economics, accounting, computers, and math. And all the classes have to be passed with at least a minimum grade of a C, but your GPA in those 9 classes for most of our business majors has to be at least a 2.5. Now, if you're doing any dual enrollment or AP classes while you're still in high school, yes, we absolutely will accept those towards these requirements here. So in your first 2 years of FAU, if you're coming in as a freshman, you'll work with University Advising Services to make sure you've completed these requirements, as well as your other general education requirements that all students need to graduate. And then you'll transition to working with us in the College of Business on your business core and your business major classes. So in addition to the classes that you just saw on the screen, you also have to have 60 credits earned, which again means that you'll be a junior, and you also have to have your foreign language admissions requirement. For our health administration and our general economics majors, you can see that the requirements are slightly different. At the end of the presentation, I'm going to show you where you can go online to look at the exact requirements and exact courses for each of our majors. So we have 3 different degrees in the College of Business that you might pursue. Our Bachelor of Business Administration or BBA degree is what most of our students pursue. We also have a Bachelor of Science, which is very similar to the BBA, just requires 6 additional hours of advanced math. And we have our Bachelor of Health Services, which is specific to our health administration majors. So I'm going to go through briefly each of the 9 majors that we offer and just give you a tidbit of something that you might want to pursue while you're here at FAU that pertains to that major. So the first major I'll mention is marketing. Our marketing program is very flexible and allows you to choose marketing classes that appeal to your interest in things like consumer behavior, marketing research, digital marketing, etc. There's even an optional minor or certificate that you can do in digital marketing as well, available both to business and non-business majors. The marketing major also offers an optional concentration in advertising if you prefer to focus on that aspect of marketing. Our hospitality major is ranked top 30 nationally by the best schools and is one of our top majors for job placement when students graduate. Our location in South Florida makes us very well placed to have opportunities for our students, especially in the tourism industry, but also with resorts, hotels, cruise ships, restaurants, etc. It's also a very popular option, again, for students to pair with other programs as a minor to learn the customer service aspects that everyone needs in every industry. Our management program has two options, one in leadership and applied managerial skills for students who see themselves in human resources positions or who are just looking for the supervisory skills that they'll need to eventually move up the ladder at an existing company, and another in entrepreneurship for students who are looking to start their own business. We actually have the Adams Center for Entrepreneurship here at FAU, which has the annual business plan competition for our students to potentially participate in and earn cash and prizes towards starting their business idea. Our international business major is ranked number 25 in the country by US News and World Report, and it combines the international classes from all the other business majors so that you're taking classes in international finance, international marketing, international economics, and getting that well-rounded business education with an international perspective. Our health administration major is the business side of the healthcare industry. So while all of our other business majors will take, for example, financial management, our health administration majors take healthcare financial management. So it's very similar skills, but it's focused on that particular industry. And there is a required practicum at the end of the program so that you can earn some real world experience. I won't spend too much time talking about our accounting major, even though that is one of the most popular programs that we have in the College of Business, because I do have an accounting major with me today. Fernanda is going to talk about her experiences in the accounting major and specifically in the accounting scholars program at the end of the presentation, so you can hear more from her. One of the most common questions we get asked is, what is the difference between finance and accounting? They are very related. They both have to do with money. The very simple way to look at it is that accounting deals with past transactions and finance is looking at the future. But either major is a good option for you if you have those type of numbers and critical analytical type skills and you're interested in working with money in that way. We highly recommend that you consider either of those majors. It is possible definitely to major in one and minor in the other, or to do a double major in both. We have an economics major as well at FAU that again is also a very popular combination for students who are majoring, minoring in accounting, finance, economics. We see a lot of interaction between those three programs. And if you are involved in the economics major, or even if you're just minoring in it or want to take it as an elective, we do encourage you to take a look at the Business Economics Polling Initiative, BEPI, that we have at FAU, where students will learn about questionnaire design, data collection, data analysis. It's a really great program to be involved in, and it can be used as one of your economics credits towards your degree. And then finally, we come to management information systems. So at this point, I'm gonna turn it over to Dr. Sweet because this is his area. So he's gonna talk to you about this major as well as his role as a faculty member at FAU. So Dr. Sweet, send it over to you.
All right, thanks so much, Chelsea. So hey, future owls. So like Chelsea said, I'm Dr. Jonathan Sweet. I'm the program director for the Information Technology and Operations Management Department. So that's where the MIS program is housed. So MIS is for students that are interested in business, but also interested in technology. So we have two paths. We have our traditional IT path, which has your programming, your database management, data communications, advanced systems. And then we have our information knowledge, which is more of our flexible path that allows students to choose any of the classes we offer within our department. So it could be our social media and web analytics, it could be our IT project management, it could be our web technologies course. So you have a lot of flexibility. So within both of those paths, you actually have two concentrations that are optional. You can choose either business analytics or cybersecurity. So both are very highly demanded in the market as of today, especially cybersecurity with everything that we're doing online. But if you're not interested in doing a major, we also offer minors and certificates. So we offer minors in MIS as well as business analytics, cybersecurity, digital marketing, healthcare information systems, operations management. It's a good mix. So if you take anything away from this session, you can kind of see that depending on what your interests are, you can match them with a variety of other different business programs and still be successful. So the last thing that we have that's great is our accelerated BBA and MIS to our Master's in Information Technology and Management. So it allows students to complete their undergraduate and graduate degree in as little as 5 years. So it's a great opportunity for those that are considering going to their Master's and want to be able to do everything in one shot. So that's a real great opportunity for those of you that are interested in business and also in technology. So then on the research side, this is something that FAU focuses on, but also the College of Business is very important to stay scholarly. So on the faculty side, we're always doing research. So between what we call pedagogical or empirical. So pedagogical is kind of like what I do. I focus more on things in the classroom. So how do I improve student performance, student success, student engagement, those type of things. And then we also engage in empirical or applied research. So we're collecting data, we're doing different types of analyses. We actually got a faculty that just recently got a National Science Foundation grant. So he was doing some really great research. But that's what the faculty is doing, but we want to also get the students involved. So this is a great opportunity to be able to get you involved early on and get you involved in research, because research can open up a lot of doors and opportunities for you that maybe you wouldn't have been able to be a part of had you not went that route. So in terms of our student-focused research, we have through our Office of Undergraduate Research and Inquiry, a lot of opportunities at their department, and then a lot of their opportunities are actually integrated into a lot of our courses. So we had a faculty member in our department last year. He actually incorporated a project that allowed his students to do some hands-on research as a part of the course credit. And then they were able to present for OURI. So it was a great opportunity for them. As Chelsea had mentioned, we had the business plan competition. I was involved in that as an undergraduate student. It's just a great opportunity if you have an interesting idea and you want to be able to test it out and be able to win some possible cash prizes. It's a great opportunity. For the Business and Economic Polling Initiative, even if you're not an economics major, it's great to just be able to work with survey data, especially if you're a marketing student. And then the FAU WAVE program is also very similar to the business plan competition, except it's offered through the Division of Research. So it gives you essentially a good mix of sort of a business plan type competition, but also more of an applied research. And they also have some cash prizes, which is really great. So in addition to those, we have a lot of various speaker series, seminars, and other workshops. We actually had Steve Forbes come in from Forbes magazine last year, and he was talking to the students. So we always try to have some of these varieties to really just let students know and just be able to explore different areas and see what interests them. So then next is talking about life in the classroom. So life in the classroom is a lot different now than it was in the past, but I'm very pleased to say that the College of Business, with this whole transition with COVID, was already doing a lot online. So the transition was a little bit easier for us than maybe some of the other colleges. So in terms of our variety of course formats, we offer a mix of everything. So depending on what you're looking for, odds are we have a course that's in that modality. So you have your traditional classes. Most of the classes now, even going to the spring, are going to be more on this hybrid mix. So you'll have some face-to-face, some online. We also have
Did we lose you there, Dr. Sweet? Okay, I think we might have lost Dr. Sweet's feed. So we'll go ahead and move on to Jody K's portion. And if we can get Dr. Sweet back a little later, we'll have him pick up where he left off.
Great. Thank you, Chelsea. So while continuing on, my name is Jody K. Reese, and I am one of the career advisors within the College of Business. So as a College of Business student, you will have access to myself and my team. We advise students on things such as career path selection. You might not be sure of what major to choose or which one is right for you, so we can help you with that. We also help you with your resume and cover letters and anything else that's needed to apply for a job, an internship, or even a scholarship. And also having a professional online presence. Most of you already have Snapchat or Instagram. Well, LinkedIn is something that we push heavily in the College of Business, especially when you're trying to grow your professional network. And we help you with developing that profile. And also interviewing skills, right? A part of you going into the workforce, you would have to be able to pretty much sell yourself to potential employers. So we help you with interviewing. We coach you on how to conduct yourself in an interview and also help you with searching for jobs and internships. So a few things to note about internships. Internships is pretty much you getting work experience, right? So you are essentially almost like a temporary employee of a company. Usually internships last about 3 months. It could last 6 months, some last 8 weeks. It really depends on the employer. But this experience that you get is very valuable because you get to apply the skills and the knowledge that you have been learning in the classroom at this internship site. And this experience you can carry and you can include it on your resume. So for future opportunities, when you're looking for a job or a promotion, this will help you. You also get to connect with professionals in your field or your intended field. And a good thing about some of the internships is that it can be used for credit. So the internship that you're doing, you can use it towards one of your 120 credits at FAU. Some of the majors requiring internship, for example, health administration, that is required. And hospitality also, it's required if you're a hospitality major or a minor. But regardless of whatever major you choose within the College of Business, you are absolutely able to do an internship. We have students doing internships from all majors. And we recommend, as I mentioned, we recommend it for all students. So we do have partnership with employers. So we have a lot of local employers who are eager to hire FAU students, business students. So some of these employers, for example, Broward Health, we have an affiliation agreement with them where they're familiar with our curriculum, they're familiar with the requirements. So a lot of our health administration students would go and do their practicum at Broward Health. We also have, for example, Modernizing Medicine and Office Depot. These companies offer programs and internships. For example, Office Depot, they have internships in marketing, human resources, management information systems, finance, accounting. And another good thing is that a lot of these internships are paid. So that's a good motivator. So in addition to getting work experience, you are getting paid. I've seen interns get paid anywhere from $10 to $21 per hour. So it really depends on the employer and how well you sell yourself. So we wanted to spotlight a few of our previous interns within the College of Business. So as I mentioned, you can be doing a major, any major in the College of Business. For example, we have Salim. Salim was an international business major. He was in the master's degree program. So students in their bachelor's or their master's program can do an internship. The important thing that I wanted to know about Salim was that he was an international student. So you might be wondering, you know, are there any opportunities for me as an international student or out of state? Absolutely, you can do an internship if you're an international student. We also have to the right to Piero. Piero did an internship with the US Embassy in Lima, Peru. So his internship was outside of the US. So again, that's something that you might be wondering. Yes, you can absolutely do an internship outside of the state of Florida, outside of the US. So that is also a possibility. So we also do have another very great program. So in addition to internships where you get work experience, right? We also have a business mentor program. So this is a program that is really very backed and supported by our dean, where students are paired with a professional in the field that you want to go into. So for example, we've had professionals in health administration, information technology, entrepreneurship, business owners. Some of these mentors are retired. They want to give back to the FAU community. So students can learn from them. You can ask them questions. They can advise you, give you valuable advice on how they got to where they are. So this program lasts, it's pretty much doubled in size since its inception. And it's a formal program where we have like a launch, a kickoff. And these are a few photos from previous events from the Business Mentor Program, where students get to meet and network. You get to network with your own mentor, as well as other mentors and other students. And even after the program has ended, which is a year, some students still communicate with their mentors. You get to job shadow. Sometimes you might get to go to your mentor's place of employment or their business. You get to get a real life example of what it is like to work in that field. So another thing you want to bear in mind, when you're a College of Business student, you have so many opportunities to get involved, right? So not only are you doing well in your classes and excelling and getting some work experience by doing internships, there are student organizations that you can be a part of. And I'm sure Fernanda will go a little bit more about her experiences, but we have different organizations within the College of Business. For example, we have the Accounting Students Association, we have the American Marketing Association, which of course a lot of our marketing students take part in. We have business fraternities, orientation leaders. So if you would like to, have a voice and to guide other freshman students coming in, that's something that will be very good for you. And a lot of these experiences are very valuable, and it's also something that employers look at, right? So you're involved on campus, whether you're within a student organization, if you have a leadership role, that's something that's very valuable for you to include on your resume. And we do have a link that you can see all the student organizations that we do have at FAU that you can look through. So right now, Fernanda, one of our top students within College of Business, she will go over her many, valuable experiences here at FAU.
Everyone, and thank you so much for being here. My name is Fernanda. I'm a senior major in accounting at FAU. I'm also part of the Accounting Scholars Program, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the Scholars Program. Like Jody said, I was involved with a lot of different organizations on campus. I'm still involved. I was the president of the Investors Association, and now I'm their advisor. And I'm also the director of media and marketing for Beta Alpha Psi. And my background is actually the logo of Beta Alpha Psi. So moving on to the next slide. So I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about the Accounting Scholars Program. So that is an honors program for the accounting school at FAU. So high achieving students who have a good GPA and they want to get an honors degree in accounting. So yes, they are going to try to get into the Accounting Scholars Program. So that is an honors program of the School of Accounting. And one of the requirements is to have a 3.3 GPA. And first of all, you take the introduction classes of accounting, like financial accounting and managerial accounting. After you finish those classes, you can apply for the Accounting Scholars Program. And there's so many benefits of being part of the Accounting Scholars. One of them is just priority to get into the master's program. So right now, I don't have to take the GMAT. That's gonna be way for me, so I can just go straight to my master's without having to take the GMAT. And there's also some graduate assistant positions that they give priority, the School of Accounting gives priority to accounting scholar students. So on top of not having to take the GMAT, you can also become a graduate student. And a lot of that times, they waive the tuition for your master's program. So there's also a lot of networking events that you're required to attend as an accounting scholar. So there's a lot of workshops as well. So like writing workshops and workshops with companies that are related to accounting. So like public accounting companies, they come to FAU specifically to talk to FAU students that are majoring in accounting. And there's all the workshops specifically for the accounting scholar students. So there's also a peer mentor program within the accounting scholars. So being in this program is challenging and rewarding at the same time because it requires you to do honors compact. So besides your classes, your regular accounting classes, you also have to write honors papers for your classes. So a lot of the students, older accounting scholar students, they mentor the new students and give them guidance on how to prepare those honors compact papers, or really just advice on how to prepare for interviews, how to prepare to go to networking events. So really, truly is one of the best programs. And you start off with your junior year and then you go into your senior year within the same group. So you become really close with the people in the accounting scholars programs. I personally can say that one of my best friends now are my friends from the accounting scholars because you're taking the same classes together with these students. So to the next slide, I'm going to talk about Beta Alpha Psi, and that is the logo here that I have. So I'm the Director of Media Marketing for Beta Alpha Psi, and Beta was founded in 1919 and is an honors organization. As you can see here, is more than 100 years old. So there are different chapters all over the world for Beta Alpha Psi. So Beta Alpha Psi is an organization that focuses on accounting, finance, even information technology students, so mainly business students. And there are so many opportunities within Beta. So each school has usually a chapter, and our chapter was recently recognized as one of the top achieving chapters in the world. So I'm really happy about that. And within Beta, there's a lot of development workshops. Right now, we're doing everything online. So if you're interested, you can definitely reach out to me. We have our presentations and our workshops online now, but usually we have focused on public accounting firms. So public accounting firms like Deloitte, PwC, EY, those are the big 4 accounting firms in the world. So they come to our organization to talk to students about what they do, and also to offer internships and even job opportunity to those students, either in tax, audit, or even consulting, because the focus on our chapter is truly for accounting students who want to work in public accounting. But we also have mid-tier firms coming and also local firms here in Boca as well. So there's also a lot of opportunities for resume workshops as well, mentorship programs within Beta. So we help the students to make sure that they get that internship and job offer. So the last organization that I'm going to talk about is the Investors Association. I was really involved. I have been involved for almost 2 years with the Investors Association. At first, when I came to FAU, I wasn't sure what major I want to be in. I started out as a marketing major. I did my first internship, non-paid in marketing, but then I decided that that's not what I wanted to do. Then I decided to go into finance, and I got involved with the Investors Association. So this club is not a chapter like Beta Alpha Psi, is a student-run organization. So we didn't really have anyone to help us when we got started with the Investors Association. So it was launched in 2015, but then it got relaunched in 2017. And since then, it's been going super involved on campus. We have a lot of students either majoring in finance or even as accounting students who are involved. So TIA is very special to me because it's where I learned about how to invest my own money. We did stock pitch competitions, we did valuation analysis, we did some even research about different companies and competitions that we learn how to analyze stock and how to invest our own money. So as of right now, we have our meetings on Tuesdays, and also on Thursdays, we do some trading workshops. So if you're not interested in learning how to invest your own money, if you're just interested in getting a job in finance, we have also guest speakers, mainly from a finance background. So this is a really special club to me because that's how I got involved with finance. Even though I'm majoring in accounting, I still think it's very important to have a finance perspective for your own benefit, to know how to invest your own money. And also, if you want to get an internship in finance, I got 2 internships because of this organization. So a lot of the guest speakers you meet there, you should definitely like try to network and contact them because they're looking for interns, they're looking for job applicants. So this is also a great organization to get involved on campus. So now I'm going to pass on to Dr. Sweet so he can finish his presentation. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks so much, Fernanda.
We had a little bit of video trouble, so we have our questions. We'll start as soon as Dr. Sweet is done. I'm just catching up on his presentation.
Thanks so much. Yeah, sorry, you know, I guess this is this online world now we have, right? Things are out of our control. So I just wanted to talk a little bit. It's really just going to piggyback on what Fernanda had mentioned about engagement. And essentially, you know, she was talking about the value of these student organizations. It's very important for you to get involved. And it's also very important to talk with your faculty. And it's good to know that the faculty for the College of Business are very approachable. So I'm actually an FAU 4-time alum. So I did my undergraduate in business, my master's in business. I did another master's in ed leadership, and then I also did my PhD here. So I wouldn't be in the position I am if it wasn't for the faculty. And they were always there to help me, coach me, guide me, mentor me on every step of the way. And now as a faculty myself, I get the opportunity to give back. And then in terms of the student organizations, they all have faculty advisors that work with them. So I'm actually the faculty advisor for our Management Information Systems Association, or MISA. And it allows me to be able to connect with the students, give back to them, mentor, and also help them to be able to find jobs and be able to take advantage of all the resources we have here available. So the great thing about FAU is we're here to help you, and you have a lot of opportunities to succeed. So I'll pass it back to Chelsea now, and I guess we can open it up for some Q&A.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sweet, and thank you to Jody Kay and to Fernanda for presenting with me this morning. So if you guys have any questions for us, please go ahead and put them in the chat and we'll go ahead and answer those now. Please keep in mind also that we are all representing the College of Business. So I can answer any questions that you have pertaining to the business majors and what the requirements are. Jody Kay can answer any questions you have pertaining to internships, what kind of internships our students are doing, what it takes to be an intern, what kind of commitment that looks like. Dr. Sweet can talk to you about anything having to do not only with the MIS program specifically, but also just about how it is to be a student at FAU in the classroom, what our faculty expects of you, how they support you. And Fernanda, of course, can talk to you about being not so long ago at all, specifically in your shoes and making that decision to come to FAU and you know, what you should be doing once you get here to make sure you're making the most of your experience. So if you have any questions for us like that, please go ahead and put them in the chat. While we're waiting on those questions to come through, I'm going to go ahead and exit out of the PowerPoint, and I'm going to bring something else up that I wanted to share with you all. So if you go to our College of Business website, which I will paste into the chat here, it's www.business.fau.edu/majors. You can see all the different majors that we offer. So we just had a question come through about how do you apply to the programs. So that's kind of a twofold question. So in terms of applying specifically to FAU, there will be admissions presentations that you can watch as part of the overall Explore FAU. So as we're wrapping things up, we have Stephen with us from the admissions office who will tell you how to navigate back to the main page and join the other sessions that are happening. And there is an admission session that you can watch that will give you all the details about how to apply to FAU and what they're looking for in terms of accepting you to the university. But in terms of how to get admitted to the College of Business, I mentioned a little bit about that earlier in the presentation. So I'm going to talk a little more about that now. So that website that I placed in there, business.fau.edu/majors, it will take you here and you're going to see admissions requirements to declare a traditional major in business and admissions requirements to declare an online major. So we do have 4 majors at FAU that can be done fully online once you've completed all the lower division requirements. Obviously, as Dr. Sweet kind of mentioned, the culture right now is most things are online at the moment, but we've always offered online options even before. So luckily that transition for us in the College of Business was fairly smooth. But I'm going to focus right now just on the traditional side. So I'm going to click on that. That's going to, if you navigate on your screen, that's going to open you up to this PDF that you can download. So these are the 9 pre-business courses that I was talking about in the presentation. So you can see all those there. And then as you see, the requirements to declare general economics, which is our economics major, but with a social science focus, and the requirements to declare health administration are slightly different than the requirements to declare all of our other majors. But you can see all that information there and get an idea of what you'll be focusing on during your freshman and sophomore year. So this is, again, what you'll do here at FAU as a freshman and sophomore, not what you have to do before you get here. The only way you'd be focusing on these classes before you get here is if you are taking some dual enrollment classes. Some of these classes may be available to you as dual enrollment, and keep in mind that that's the start of your college transcript. So you want to make sure that you're putting your all into those classes and taking that seriously. So that way it helps you to get ahead once you come to FAU. If you are doing AP classes and you pass any of the corresponding courses for this, or if you're doing ACE or any other type of accelerated college coursework that you're doing while you're still in high school, it can all be used towards pre-business in the corresponding class. Just keep in mind, obviously, with ACE and with AP, there are no corresponding college grade, just a credit. Versus with dual enrollment, it's an actual grade. So it does actually impact your GPA. So those are things you want to keep in mind as you're looking into getting ready to pursue any of those. Now, if you are coming to us as a transfer student, we have a lot of students that transfer to us from our local state colleges, BC, Palm Beach State, Indian River, and elsewhere throughout Florida and even outside of Florida. Now, we will accept out-of-state credits from other regionally accredited institutions. Absolutely, we will. But you just want to make sure that you are working closely with our requirements and our resources that we have available for you online, because they may be different from what's going on at your out-of-state school. Versus if you're working at a Florida in-state public school, they may have a lot more experience with students transferring to FAU, so they may have a lot more resources at the school to prepare you to transfer to us. So those are just some things you would want to keep in mind as you're looking over that. And then if you go back to the majors page and you scroll down, these are all the majors that we offer in the College of Business, and you can click on each one and you can download a program sheet. And the first side of the program sheet looks similar to what we were looking at before because it lists those pre-business requirements. But then at the bottom, you'll see your business core. And then on the next page, you'll see your business major. So this will give you an overview of the kinds of classes that you would take for each of our programs. And then at the bottom of the sheet, I, again, very briefly mentioned some different organizations and things you can get involved in. If there's a corresponding organization or a special program that you can pursue related to that major, a link to it is at the bottom. So like Dr. Sweet mentioned, our accelerated BBA to MS program, there's a link to that right at the bottom of the page that you can click on, and it would take you to that information. So it's a good way to start exploring. Again, this is just business.fau.edu/majors, and you can find all this information there. Okay, so now we have some other questions. I'm going to kick it over to Jody K, because we had some questions about what are the requirements for internships, and also someone asking specifically about internships for marketing majors. So Jody K, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure, thank you. So in terms of requirements for internships, we have it in two ways. The general requirements, you have to be a student of, enrolled in a degree program. That's what most employers are looking for. Some internships have a GPA requirement. Usually it's 3.0 or higher. Not in every case. Some employers, it's fine, but sometimes it's a GPA requirement. Also, if you're looking to get an internship for credit, so this is the internship that will count as part of your course or one of your courses at FAU. Of course, you'd have to have at least a 2.5 GPA. Also, there's a minimum hourly requirement. So when you're working on an internship, you'd have to be working there at least 18 hours per week as a general rule. So, 18 hours per week, usually and throughout the semester. So you have to have time to commit at least 18 hours each week for the semester that you're doing that internship, which is generally like 16 weeks for the semester. So those are the general requirements for internships. So just keep your GPA up and have that time to commit to actually report to that employer to do the internship. And I saw another question about, and you can be a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior, or grad student to do an internship as well. And also I saw a question from Daniela. How available are marketing internships? Well, actually, coincidentally, the majority of our internship requests are from companies looking for marketing majors. The companies are looking for students to help with digital marketing or social media marketing. So the marketing internships are they are probably one of the most sought after, or the ones that are more available within our system. And we have a system that we use that's called Handshake. It's specifically for FAU students. So employers who want to hire FAU students would advertise their jobs and internships. So you go in there, create a profile, you upload your resume, you can search by zip code, by major, and you will see all the marketing internships or, accounting or whichever keywords, filters that you use. Let me see if I see any more questions on internships. Okay. Great. And, if any time along the way, before you start looking for internships, you can always meet with us and then we can guide you along the, the steps that you would need to take to be successful.
Thank you, Jody K.
You're welcome.
So we had a question also about applying as pre-business. So remember, just a few minutes ago, I was going over the requirements to declare a business major. So that is because some majors at the university, you can just select the major and then that's automatic, you're in. But business is an area where you do, it's not that you have to apply specifically to the major, but you have to meet specific requirements. So everyone who applies to FAU, whether you are a first-time in college freshman or whether you're a transfer student, you apply as pre-business and then you can indicate which business major you intend to pursue once you have completed the requirements. So then when you're admitted to FAU, depending on where you are in your academic career, again, if you're a first-time in college student or if you have credits under your belt already, you'll be connected with an advisor who will let you know what you still need to complete in order to officially be able to declare your major. If you come in as a freshman, that will usually happen as you head into your senior year. If you come in with some type of amount of transfer credits, it may happen at different times depending on what you've taken and what you're transferring in. So at that time, again, you don't have to apply specifically to business, but once you meet that minimum criteria, your advisor will assist you with declaring your major. So that will be a change from, let's say, for example, pre-business marketing to marketing without the pre-business before it. Okay, so anybody else have any other questions about that? Please let us know. Okay.
Can I just add, Chelsea, about the transfer students? So I was actually a non-traditional transfer student when I came to FAU. So when I actually came to the College of Business Advising office, I had credits from Nova Southeastern, Broward Community College, University of Central Florida, Brevard Community College, Valencia Community College. I had classes from pretty much everywhere across the state. And the College of Business was very accommodating. And I still can remember the day calling up the office during the week of ad drop and trying to ask them, how do I apply and all these things. And they were very supportive. So for those of you that maybe kind of feel intimidated that you maybe have some other classes you've taken, like Chelsea said, we have a lot of resources available to help you to make that process as smooth as possible to get in. But I'm at least a testimony that you can make it even if you're a transfer student, and you can still be successful.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sweet. I also saw a question about dual majoring. So I'm not sure, looks like we got that question from Randall, if that was related to double majoring within business or in business and something else. So I'll kind of speak to both of those things because that might be a question that some of you have or something that you might have considered. If you come into FAU as a freshman, one of our roles as academic advisors is to help you graduate on time. So we want you to be able to graduate in that 4 years because a bachelor's degree is typically supposed to be 4 years. So we work with you to make sure you're planning classes in a way that's going to help you be successful and make progress towards graduation. So if you want to double major, it's important that you make sure that you are not taking a lot of electives without talking to your advisor about that, because you want to save those electives to be used towards that major. So every degree in the College of Business is going to be 120 credits, and it's going to consist of different requirements. And one of those requirements is going to be electives, which is basically the space left over between all your business and general education courses and that minimum 120 you have to have. So let's say if we add everything up and you've got like 18 credits of electives left, that's usually the perfect amount to do a second major in business. If you only have like 3 elective credits left, we usually won't recommend you do a double major or minor at that point. So it's just important to kind of think about those decisions as early as you possibly can so that we can help you make the most of your credits and not take classes that won't necessarily benefit you, so to the point where you'd be spending extra money and extra time to try to achieve a second major. If you do decide you wanted to double major outside of the College of Business, that's a little more difficult because business majors require a lot of specific coursework. There are some majors at the university that have more room for electives, which makes it easier to double major because you might have, 24, 27, 30 credits of elective space to work with even. And that's a whole other degree program that you can fit in there. But the College of Business has it's a little more technical. So it's got a lot of prerequisites and requirements. If you do a second major outside of business, that's usually considered a dual degree because it'll probably add an extra year to your time at FAU. So it's not necessarily impossible, but it's something that you want to think very carefully of. Is it worth that extra time and investment? How is it going to impact your career opportunities that it makes sense for you to invest in that? And that's another place where, Jody Kay and her team can come in, because sometimes we have students that will come in and say, oh, I really want to do a double major, but they haven't really thought through why. They just kind of think it sounds better. And sometimes things that you think that might sound better actually don't have the same impact that you might think they would. But Jody Kay and her team, they have the experience and the industry partnerships to actually tell you what the employers really do want. So they can help you navigate some of those decisions and decide, is this really going to be the right option for me for my track? So that's a little bit about double majoring and very similar minoring, the same thing. If it fits in with your time to graduate, then absolutely use your classes for that. If it's going to extend your time here, it's something you want to carefully think about to make sure it's really worth it. Okay. So that looks like all the questions that you guys had. I'm going to put my email address directly into the chat So if there's any other questions that you have about the College of Business, please feel free to reach out to me directly and I will connect you with the appropriate person or department. Thank you all for being with us here this morning, and thank you also to my co-presenters. I'm going to turn it over to Stephen, who's going to tell you how you can connect back with the rest of the presentation this morning.
All right, so thank you everyone from the College of Business for a wonderful presentation and for answering everybody's questions. So for everybody who is here looking to go back to the rest of the event, you can either go right back the way you came, back to the Socio event, or I am about to put the link for the Socio event in the chat. So you can either go right back or just access it through this link. The next session should start at 11:30. So you have a little bit of time and you can go into the agenda if you don't know where you want to go, or you can go towards the one you know you want to go to. So again, I am putting the link in the chat right now, so you can access it through there. But thank you again to everybody from College of Business and to everybody in attendance. I will see you all in one of the next sessions.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.